This episode is brought to you by Polestar. There's only one true way to experience the all-electric luxury SUV Polestar 3, and that's to take a test drive. It can go from 0 to 60 in as little as 4.8 seconds with the dynamic handling of a sports car. But to truly understand how it commands the road, you need to be behind the wheel. Up to 350 miles of range, the 3D surround sound system by Bowers & Wilkins. It's all something you have to experience to believe. So book your test drive for Polestar 3 today at Polestar.com.
This Steve Jones Show podcast is now loading. The Steve Jones Show podcast is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, and Brewers Outlet. Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Brewers Outlet, Sunbury Motor Company, and Purdy Insurance. Now from the Sunbury Motor Studio, here's Steve Jones.
And we welcome you to the Wednesday edition. Great to have you with us on the show today. Brought to you by our good friends in the opening half hour, Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury, Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Ford, Kia, Hyundai, best in new inventory. I can testify to that. Not just somebody talks about them. I'm a customer. And they were incredible to deal with, from Stanger all the way through the financing process. It really was easier. Pre-owned inventory, well, that may be what matches up with your finances. Okay, that's fine. If that's the case, you go to a place that has lots of pre-owned inventory. That is Sunbury Motors, and they go over each one with a fine-tooth comb. It makes the buying process so much easier. In service department, quick lane, routine, difficult inspections, they handle it all at Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury, Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 to 15 in Hummel's Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. All right. Good day to you, sir.
Hello, how are you?
It is I think the next couple of weeks will be among the quietest times of the year. I mean, really quiet.
And it is kind of odd, just because it feels like we started the Penn State football season in like August, and we went hard straight through till about now. There has not been a lack of news over the last 10 months.
No, I mean, every time we turn around, there's been something that has happened. We've talked about. Well, it turns out this happens to be one of those times where, well, guess what? It's not really all that, Yeah.
It is. I was thinking about this today just because I realized that, and I guess the only thing really, really super going on is the Major League Baseball season right now, and it's just not part of the zeitgeist like it was. That it just doesn't. Do a lot of people realize how good the Tigers are right now?
No, I think they got a piece of it on Sunday night. Scrubble was out. Did you see his pitching performance?
I did. I watched
13.
Yeah,
he was phenomenal. I mean, and guess what? He was the Cy Young Award winner last year, and he looks better than he did last year. And they hit, and I think something that was really important to them, and this is a small item, but it can be an important item. Javi Baez, came up as a shortstop with the Cubs. He came up with, and he, of course, got moved to second base. Well, in all likelihood, he was not going to make the team. except he realized what the situation was, and he said, look, I can play center field. And it kept him in the mix in center field. And now, is the star of the team? No. Been there, done that guy? Yes. But they're just a really good team. They drafted well. Mize is with them. Torkelson's with them. Those are 2 first-round picks. They've been smart about how they put their team together. And I know it's very I know if Aaron Judge walks out of the dugout, he is going to get all the publicity, and justifiably so. But the Yankees do not have the best record. Detroit does. He doesn't have the most home runs. Cal Raleigh does. Right? And there are a lot of other great stories happening in baseball besides stories that happen in New York. Like I said, when the Pirates lost to the Mets, when the Pirates beat the Mets and outscored them 30-4, the stories weren't about how the Pirates got better. The stories were all about what the heck is wrong with the Mets. And the Pirates won again last night, 1-0.
And it's wild. Paul Skeens hasn't won since the end of May.
Paul Skeens pitched 5 innings last night, 5 shutout innings, and tremendous. But they didn't score they didn't score the run until the 8th inning.
I think I saw last night it was his 42nd start of his career. He has a 1.99 career ERA.
He's incredible. He's a great pitcher. He's added to his arsenal, which he did during spring training, and it's he has been everything that you can ask for in that first overall pick. He's been great. Not just good, he's been great. Well, hey. Now, are they a contending team? No, because guess who's... First of all, the Cardinals have been playing well. I think now they're 47-40, but Ollie's got them playing really well. But the Cubs have been great. Again, there's so many other stories outside of New York and Los Angeles that are really good right now. Detroit is a phenomenal story. Cal Raleigh is a phenomenal story. The Cubs are a phenomenal story. Okay, the Pirates getting better is an excellent story.
I think there's somebody else in the Central people are sleeping on too, and that's the Reds.
The Reds have been playing a lot better. They did go back to Terry Francona took his team back to Fenway. And the Red Sox did beat them the other night 13-6. Then last night's game was suspended because of rain. Which, by the way, I mean, and the Roman Anthony kid who got off to like such a slow start. He kept hitting the ball. He wasn't striking out. Who was hitting as low as, 114? He's up to like 220 now. So, he's starting to hit, actually. Another story that's not a New York story.
Apropos of, did you see that his dad, his uncle, and his grandfather are all Anthony?
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody said, can you be more Italian than that?
No, you can't. No, you can't.
I also did not realize things I did not realize in baseball. The Blue Jays are a game out since they beat the Yankees last night.
Yeah, yesterday was Canada Day. So the Blue Jays wore red jerseys for the Toronto Maple Leaf, or for the Maple Leaf, the Canadian Maple Leaf that's on the flag, and George Springer knocked in 7 runs. Somebody said to me, do you think George Springer's a Hall of Famer? I said, no. He's, again, Hall of very, very good. But he drove in 7 yesterday. Impressive.
There's nothing wrong with being Freddie Lynn, right?
No.
You know what I mean?
Freddie Lim was.
Well, I realize this, but he's not.
Player. He's not
right.
a Hall of Fame
He's
player.
right at the edge of the Hall of Fame, though. But there's nothing wrong with being that guy. And that guy, and in this day and age, that guy is still going to make a lot of money and still going to.
Sure, he is.
And
in this
heavens.
day and age, that guy's going to make a ton of money.
Well, I was just going to say, seeing what some of the backups in the NBA are getting in free agency, everybody makes a lot of money now.
Well,
but.
this has been free agency. Usually there's been the flurry of free agent moves in the NBA in recent years. They're like, oh. This year's been a lot of, yeah, so what? All right, so what? Big deal? So what? I mean, nothing's really happened here to me in the NBA. I mean, the Turner signing yesterday, talk about overpaying for the guy. Now, look, overpaying? I suppose we can talk about that because they paid him. I mean, Turner didn't hold the Milwaukee Bucks ownership hostage and release them one at a time until he got the contract. But just even in today's market, when I look at today's market, Miles Turner is a very, very good player. But number-wise, in terms of the numbers he got from the Bucks, I never would have paid that.
I think it's kind of interesting the way, what Boston is doing and what Indiana is doing now, and Milwaukee, in fact, just because of, kind of what those Achilles injuries made them do.
Well, the Achilles injuries are interesting because Damian Lillard just got released by the Bucks, and he has the Achilles injury. Somebody will pick him up, but he's not going to play for a while. Tyrese Halliburton is, I think, the odds of him even playing next year at all are going to be long. Tatum will eventually get back at some point with about maybe a third of the season remaining. But, I mean, those are devastating injuries for the individual and, of course, hurt the team. The Celtics had their run. They know Horford's 39, so he won't be a part of the mix. They traded Porzingis, and when Porzingis played, he was a tremendous. Holiday couldn't have played any better for them. But, after this short run, they're going to reconfigure the team. Okay. But they got a championship out of it. And that's the important thing. If you can get a championship out of your mix, it was worth the moves you made.
And it just makes me wonder, with Boston taking a step back at least for a season. It seems like Indiana's going to take a step back without Miles Turner and without Halliburton. Giannis is getting older, and who knows, there's rumors he might not be in Milwaukee next year.
Right.
The Knicks probably have the most talent, but who's going to coach them? I mean,
Mike Brown. Mike Brown signed a 2-year contract.
Oh, did they hire him today?
And I'm talking like this is in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah. So I mean, is Mike Brown that much of an improvement over Tom Thibodeau? I don't think so. If the Sixers are ever going to do something, this might be the season. This might be as wide open as the East is in the next 3 or 4 years.
Well, the West is better than the East.
Yes.
Let's start with that. Cleveland's the best team. They may not have shown it when they played Indiana, but they're the best team still. The Knicks are right behind them. Atlanta is the team that really improved in the offseason. I know it's shocking to say Atlanta really improved, but it's a reality. But nothing earth-shattering has happened. The most important moves that have been made have been trades. Porzingis gets traded to Atlanta. Kevin Durant gets traded to Houston. LeBron opts in for his final season with the Lakers. Okay, those are not free agent moves. Those are trades and the decision by a great player to stay put one more year.
Did you see the bit of the oddness in the LeBron thing, where the statement afterwards kind of sounded like they demanded a trade after they opted in?
Oh yeah, I think didn't Rich Paul?
Yeah, it was Rich Paul. Kind of, but he can refute it. The tone and the words kind of. I don't know how you not take him the way that you took how you didn't take him that way, but
obviously I don't know the man. Yeah. I just know I've just seen him on TV. But in everything that he has said over the years leads you to believe that he would like to be part of an ownership group. And, of course, the ownership group is the Fenway Group. Now, he doesn't want to sit there and just be the part owner of the Red Sox and the part owner of the Pittsburgh Penguins. He wants to be part of an NBA ownership group. And, of course, Las Vegas seems to be the place that is the place. And now they're talking seriously about expansion. That's where he wants to be. I mean, that just seems to me like that's where he wants to go.
I mean, I feel like, LeBron's one of those players right now that he's more valuable to the Lakers than he is to anybody else because
no question.
To get LeBron, you're going to have to break up your team to get LeBron. And the whole point of getting LeBron at this point is to chase a championship, I would assume. And I think they end up being mutually exclusive now at this point since he is, 41 or 42 at this point.
Yeah, but what moves have they made? They didn't really make any moves. I mean, they got Luka in the trade, sure. But, again,
yeah,
offensively, terrific player. Can't say enough great things about him offensively. You can't say much about him defensively. You also can't say much about him when it comes to what kind of basketball shape he's in.
I guess I was reading yesterday after the Bucks made their moves that they're talking like the Lakers is one of the landing spots for Giannis if they trade him. But I'm like, other than LeBron and Luka, what kind of assets do they have? 3 assets and enough picks to get Giannis? I don't think so. And then if they trade for him, who else? They're just going to put the 3 of them on the court,
right? I mean, the first name that would come up to me would be Dalton Connect.
Yeah.
Right, whom I think is going to be not great, but a good NBA player. I mean, he'll be a good NBA player. So, yeah, but that's what they have. There's a lot of moves being made, but a lot of nothing being made. Now, Houston gets KD. Houston had, to its credit, built itself back up quickly. They were very good last year. Very, very good.
But currently they have 4 centers and 3 guards.
Yeah, they'll have to probably get a better mix.
I think I read their guards they have Van Vliet, Aaron Holiday, and Reed Shepherd, and that's the only guards on their roster right now.
Yeah, it's a little thin.
Yeah, I think they might need 1 or 2 more.
A little thin.
And then Steven Adams, Clint Capella, Sagun, and they signed somebody else that's like a 4/5 too. So I feel like there's probably something else coming there. Oh, KD, because somebody said KD is essentially a 4 at this point too.
Yeah, he can play 3 or 4. He can, he's an interesting 6'11", almost 7-foot guy who's a face-up outside shooter. He's always been a special player that with special skills. But this is the NBA right now. There's a lot of nothing. They'll make a big deal out of the Summer League. By the way, remember we talked about Ace Bailey? Bailey did report to Utah on Saturday. I don't think we mentioned that yesterday because we made a big deal about whether he was going to go or not on Friday. He actually showed up on Saturday. He's fine.
And Andrew Funk's going to play for the 76ers Summer League team.
He'll be on the Sixers Summer League team. Ace Baldwin on the Grizzlies. Zach Hicks on the Celtics. So they'll all get their Summer League shots. For Funk and for Baldwin, the question is, and for Zach, can they get enough where they want to go to the G League? Right? I think that, because Andrew at one point was on a 2-way contract, and that was with the Bulls. But, those are limited. You're the 16th and 17th players on the roster when you're on a 2-way contract. So, but it's great that he gets the opportunity because Andrew was going to play with the Happy Valley Hoopers and the TBT.
I believe he still is.
Yeah.
That starts after the G League's over.
Yeah. It starts after Summer League's over.
After Summer League, yeah, not after the G League.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't play many games in the Summer League. I think, what they play 4?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, the daily item between vacations and other things, not a lot of things going on, is filling space, too. That was our main story yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Because our art from the baseball game was mine off my phone, so that couldn't be super big.
Oh, boy. Now, the door is open on the Little League thing now, right? I mean, the weather's going to be great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be, I mean, it's beautiful out today.
Oh, yeah, no, today's great.
I mean, it's a summer day, don't get me wrong. It's not cool or anything, but it's not humid and there's not a cloud in the sky. Right.
Oh, no, this is great. Love it.
Did you get delayed last night?
No.
Yeah.
Started right on time.
My 5 o'clock major game didn't start till 7.
Oh, okay. No, we start on time. Not a drop of rain, anything like that. Oh. And Spikes won in a walk-off last night, 7-6, which was fun. So, yeah, it was fun. All right, take a break. Brought to you by Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Here on News Radio 1070 WKOK.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, this is Season. For over 100 years, the Purdy Insurance Agency has been protecting families and businesses of the greater Susquehanna Valley and beyond. With the experience of our trained and knowledgeable staff, you can rest assured that your needs will be evaluated and met by some of the industry's best representatives. No matter what your insurance needs are, call Purdy Insurance today at 570-286-5855. Visit our website at purdyinsurance.com or check us out on Facebook to see what we can do for you.
An in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Purdy Insurance, Brewers Outlet, and Sunbury Motor Company. Now from the Sunbury Motor Studio, here's Steve Jones.
And this half hour brought to you by Purdy Insurance, Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. Auto, home, life, business, boat, motorcycle, RV. And when I needed guidance through the Medicare system, Steve Engel was right there for me. Okay. Indeed he was. And he was great. I'm set up today because of having a pro like that work with me. And that's what they'll do for you. They're the best in the business, and not only the best in the business, they will do everything to make sure you're fully insured, but also save you money. Why? Because what makes them the best in the business is customer service. And the customer service part is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And it's all at Purdy Insurance, Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. All right. Baseball, Phillies hanging in, doing fine. Mets trying to recover from the Pirates series. Pirates are actually still playing well, which is the key to all this. They continue to just play well. The Dodgers are the Dodgers, but the West is just so much better and deeper than everybody else. I mean, San Francisco, San Diego. I mean, even Arizona's sitting there. There are a lot of teams right now, like the Yankees, for example, they'd be in 4th place in the West, in the National League West. And that's just a fact to me. Detroit can play with anybody. Also, Sunday Night Baseball, which has seen a ratings increase. You and I both watched the Sunday game this week. Now, according to Andrew Marchand from The Athletic, they are now ESPN and Major League Baseball are talking again.
It's so you know how some of the regional sports networks went bankrupt the last couple of years, and MLB took over their rights.
Yes. Yeah.
ESPN wants those rights for their streaming service.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that. The Major League blackout rules are so strange. I wonder how that will work. Like, I can see that being appealing to some people who live on this coast and would like to watch the Padres or something along those lines, but
yeah, I mean, that's one of the issues with the regional sports networks is quite simply when they were humming along, most teams were looked at that as their financial out the salaries they're paying. Well, that's not there now. This is going to cause a ripple effect that is going to be an issue. I think there's going to be a ripple effect on salaries. See, the Dodgers and the Yankees between, I'm not sure who has the Dodgers contract, but yes, of course, is the Yankees. And they just have so much cash. See, that's what's baffling Red Sox fans, because they're sitting there with Nesson, and as they're sitting there with Nesson, they know they've got the money.
I do wonder what that Henry crew is spending their money on. I think most people assume that that they're robbing Peter to play the soccer team, but I'm not sure that is that fair. Is it going where? It is weird that all of a sudden the Red Sox have to save money over the last 5-8 years.
It makes no sense to anybody that follows them. None. They own the Penguins, but that's not a big drain. All right. Yeah. So.
No, if I was going to pay the salary of a major league sports team, it would definitely be an NHL team.
Yeah. And look, the Penguins' salary structure is about to be a little bit different. Malkin's probably in his last year, so you're going to lose that salary. Chris Letang's getting close to the end, so you're going to lose that salary. Crosby's $8.7 million a year. Yeah.
Sidney Crosby, one of the greatest players in NHL history, is going to make $8 million next year.
But he's always played for $8.7 million.
I'm not arguing that point. It's just wild to me because if he was in any other sport, he would be making probably at least 6 times that.
Oh, I know. Hey, you and I both know that. It's just.
What did Saigogas Alexander just sign for? Like $71.3 million.
$285 million.
Yeah, like
$71 million a year.
The numbers are ridiculous. I get that, but he's worth every penny of that for the Thunder. If you're going to pay somebody the max, you pay the MVP and the guy that won the title, right?
Sure, right. And was the playoff MVP.
Yeah, but geez, I remember my grandfather complaining about Kirby Puckett and $3 million. His head might explode for $71 million a year.
I can hear my father now. What? They're paying what? Yeah. And look, And I don't begrudge anybody. Yeah.
I mean, it is one of those things. I mean, if they couldn't afford to pay him $71 million under the salary cap, they wouldn't. So it's just as they say in The Princess's Bride, inconceivable.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's almost like it's monopoly money. And look at the NBA. Now, we talked about the NBA, the $285 million, $71 million a year for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Okay? But think about this. You're an NFL team, and yes, you've got all that money rolling in from TV. But that's still 53 players for a team that have to be paid. If you're in Major League Baseball, the Major League Baseball roster is 26 players. The NHL is 20, but it gets up to 26. I think there's kind of a balancing act there. The NBA only has 17 players. And now they have a $7.5, $7.6 billion a year TV deal that starts next year. It's like a monopoly money to them. You know, it's like monopoly money.
I hope to once reach that point.
Why, you want to buy Park Place?
Hey. It would relieve a lot of stress.
Yes, it would. I think everybody would feel that way. It would relieve a lot of stress. Yeah. Well, it's I mean, again, all that money that they have now from TV, cap goes up, but there's only 17 guys to pay. Okay. Some of them are rookies on the minimum, some are two-way players. Yeah, two of them are two-way players. That combine, the two-way players, their salaries combine to be a rookie minimum salary. And so you have a lot of guys making money where you sit back and say, really? He's getting that? You have to be kidding me.
I should have practiced my three-pointers more.
Yes, you should have. Yeah.
There's a reason why the daughter's at basketball camp this week.
Well, it is. It's one thing that we're really not going to know. Okay, is how much money the college players are getting. We may get estimates and hear about it. You know, may like roundabout numbers, but. But I don't think we're really going to know exactly how much they're getting paid.
It would behoove them to not let that get out.
Of course it would.
I mean, just, if you are doing something untoward, you certainly don't want the clearinghouse to get wind of it or the investigators.
Yeah.
I think you said this when we first talked about it a couple weeks ago. I do wonder if we go back to the early 80s era where, it's a little, the Pony Express and I think you called it the envelopes in the locker.
Yes. That was always the Kentucky basketball rumor.
Yes.
The brown envelope in the locker. Oh.
Or the $100 handshake.
Yes. 100.
Wow.
Aren't you on a budget?
Yeah. I guess there is a $1,000 bill, huh?
Yeah, there is. Is that McKinley? I think who's on that bill?
I wouldn't know. I've never seen one.
I know. I haven't.
They say the suit hasn't taken me out for lunch yet.
Oh, that's not going to happen. Yeah. I mean, that's not going to happen. My goodness. Just the mere thought of it, right? Now, you might go if you offered to pay.
The internet says Grover Cleveland's on the $1,000 bill.
Okay, well, what's McKinley on? 500? 5,000? I think Salmon P. Chase is on one of them. Let's see. Look this up here. You know the show's. You know it's a slow time of the year. We're looking up. Look, so it's what? Grant's on the 50. All right. Franklin's on the 100.
McKinley is on the 500.
McKinley's on the 500. So on the 5,000, is it Salmon P. Chase?
Which is another thing we'll never see.
How bad is this? We're looking up denominations.
There is no such thing.
Is it 5,000? How about, really?
Yeah, they're uncirculated.
Uncirculated.
It was only printed from 1861 to 1945.
Salmon P. Chase bill. Salmon P. Chase is on the $10,000 bill. Okay, the 10,000. So there's no 5,000, right? He served as Abraham Lincoln's Treasury Secretary. The $10,000 bill was last printed in 1945, and the Federal Reserve and Treasury discontinued it in 1969.
So that might be worth a little more than $10,000.
Well, sure. Okay. So how much is a Salmon P. Chase bill worth? Okay. The bill featuring Salmon P. Chase was sold at the Long Beach Expo U.S. Coin Signature Auction in Dallas by Heritage Auctions for $480,000. The sale surpasses the former $384,000 record high of a similar bill sold in September 2020. So that bill for $480,000, 2nd, 2023.
I guess they ask questions if you try and pay with 48 of them, huh?
Right. That'd be an issue. That'd be an issue. All right. But the fact that we even knew off the top of our heads that Salmon P. Chase was on a bill, we should get credit for.
It's
somewhere.
Some sort of weird Jeopardy credit.
But they still print 500s, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's the when I was looking it up, it was 1,000 and above. They've taken out of circulation.
Okay. So, when was the last $500 bill printed? All right. Okay. The last $500 bill that was printed was 1969. July 14th, 1969. The Federal Reserve announced that currency denominations of 500, 1,000, 5,000, and 10,000 would be discontinued immediately due to lack of use. So McKinley is on the $500 bill. It was last printed in 1945, but taken out of circulation in 1969. $2 bills are still printed. $2 bills. Now, at the holiday party, the suit was tipping with $3 bills. He scares the heck out of me. I don't know about you.
Who's on the $3 bill?
Roger.
Oh. There you
Roger
go.
Haddon. On the suits bills, Roger Haddon.
Yeah.
He just scares the daylights out of it. It's an obsolete denomination.
Yeah.
What a bummer. Like, inflation is the way it is today. $500 bills would not be obsolete.
Yeah, well. You got to pay it's one way to pay your hotel room.
Okay. Let's see. Kevin, hers says, I was going to say me on the $3 bill. Well, we can't have you doing that. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so there's also a $100,000 gold certificate.
This is just a long list of things I will never see in my life.
Well, none of these are in circulation right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. As of May 30th, 2009, so we're going back 16 years, only 336 $10,000 bills were known to exist. There were 342 $5,000 bills. $1,000 bills, 165,372. Only 75,500 bills were in existence 16 years ago. The larger denominations were used mainly by banks and the federal government for large financial transactions. No kidding, really? So right now, what do they print? 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, and 100. So that $8 bill the suit now tips with. Where'd you get that? I'd like to point out fine artisans. Nothing like fine artisans. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, there you go. You didn't think we'd talk about this half hour?
No.
There are people listening right now saying, why are you talking about this half hour?
We'll bring it back to sports next half hour. Promise.
And yes, the U.S. Mint still makes 50-cent coins.
Oh.
But they are primarily produced for collectors and special sets. I used to have, in fact, I still have a Kennedy $50. And I still have an Eisenhower silver dollar. So, how about that? Very cool. Yeah. $500 bill, $10,000. They got pictures of the actual bills here. $5,000 bill. How about that? With James Madison on it. Salmon P.J. What the heck made Salmon P.J.? $100,000 gold certificate has Woodrow Wilson on it.
They just seem to be random presidents.
Here we go. So here's what's not in circulation on coins. Half-cent coins, 2-cent coins, 3-cent coins, half dimes, later replaced by nickels, 20-cent coins, and dollar coins. The Eisenhower dollar, remember I said I have one of those? I still do. And the Susan B. Anthony dollar is no longer out there. Soon, pennies will be extinct. What's the suit going to tip with when that happens? All right, we'll take a break. Hey, it's Independence Day week, right? So, of course, we talk about American money here on News Radio 1070 WKOK.
Party time, game time, or just fun time. Doesn't matter what time it is because it's Brewers Outlet time. The beverage supermarket has the area's largest beer selection. Imports, microbrews, ciders, and domestics. Pick from over 100 ice-cold 12-packs and dozens of 24-ounce singles. Soda, snacks, hot sauces, fresh roasted peanuts. Make it one-stop party shopping, and don't forget the pickle bar. So whatever you're celebrating or just doing it up, Brewers Outlet, Reagan Street, Sunbury wants to see you and thank you for your years of patronage.
Celebrate your freedom from high prices this long holiday weekend at Sunbury Motors with deals hotter than a firecracker. Hurry in to Sunbury Motors Ford and choose from 10 pre-owned Explorers priced as low as $17,997. Or pick from 12 pre-owned F-150s, America's best-selling truck, starting at just $18,997. At Sunbury Motors Hyundai, save up to $2,300 on the versatile pre-owned Hyundai Santa Cruz and up to $2,000 on used Hyundai Santa Fe's that come with plenty of room for the whole family. And at Sunbury Motors Kia, save up to $2,600 on the used, sleek, and comfortable Kia Serenos and up to $2,000 on a pre-owned, affordable, and smooth-riding Kia Telluride. And that's just a small example. Celebrate your freedom from high prices at Sunbury Motors Ford and Sunbury Motors Hyundai in the North 4th Street Auto Plaza, Sunbury, and at Sunbury Motors Kia on the Strip in Hummel's Wharf. SMC will be closed on Friday, July 4th to honor America and for their employees to enjoy the holiday.